What's up, guys? I'm Marcellus Williams, aka TheSwolefessor, Education on Health and Social Well-Being. Welcome to episode 1 of the prep series for Carolina Primetime. As you guys can see, we titled it Unfinished Business. Now, we are about to head to the gym, but before we do, I just want to kind of talk to you guys about a couple things because once I get to the gym, I'm trying to dial in, get my mind right, and just focus on what's right in front of me because it is week 3, and you guys know I push in 3-week intervals. Heaviest primary day of the block, Saturday, April 1st, and I'm feeling good, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm feeling pretty good. It's like I'm trying to contain myself and contain the energy because I want to obviously wait till I'm actually at the gym, and I also don't want to let myself overhype myself to where I end up doing something stupid that I shouldn't. Right? It's taking like this is like the end of the first block of prep, right? If we consider like the first this past macro cycle, if we consider that like the quote unquote off season, there's really no such thing. We're always prepping. But this is where we're kind of like in those final stages, like pushing into the meat. And I'm excited, man, for a few reasons. So first of all, as you guys know from last video, reviewed the Enzers, the A7s, the Iron Rebels, and I'm rocking the A7s. So we got something nice and new for squats, right? I also now am benching in the Hyper Vs, which I'll be showing you guys today and kind of giving my thoughts on those after I bench press. But it's a shoe that a lot of pilots have been promoting as far as bench press. And shout out to Brian, my rival Brian, who won. This is his comp tee actually, because we gotta show out in the rivals comp tee. And two, shout out to him because he's the one that like let me try his Hyper V, so I could kind of finally like see and compare to the L runs that I've been benching in since like 2018 and see how I feel about them. Because, and mind you, I still love the L runs. I still think they're better than any other slipper out there that you're going to be benching in. And they last a lot longer. Like I said, I've had my pair since 2018. The Hyper Vs are the first bench shoe that I've had where I actually like can honestly say, okay, I like these a little bit more than the L runs. But I'll get into that later. But shout out to him for allowing me to try his out so I could order my own pair. Also, shout out to him because through connecting me with his client, Austin, I am going to be pulling in today. You guys are going to see my new belt. It is the best deadlift belt that I have ever pulled in, and I'll be getting into that whenever we get closer to pulls. I'll break that down. But also shout out to Brian because he's also a big part of why this prep series is titled what it is, which is, like I said, unfinished business, right? Because first of all, as I mentioned a couple videos ago when I was kidding you guys caught up on what training's been looking like and stuff like that, I mentioned how for me, last year's nationals being one bench attempt away, 8 for 9 day, being one attempt away from, the 500 dots that I wanted, one attempt away from a 700 kg total as a 75, how I thought I was okay with that, but I'm just really not, right? So I clearly have unfinished business in this weight class. And it's also unfinished business because Brian and I are tied right now because the February meet that we both did to qualify for all nationals, he beat me. He outtold me there. And we're both 75 kg lifters. I outtold him at nationals, both 75 kg lifters. So we gotta have the tiebreaker, man. He's actually competing in May at the same meet that a few of my clients are going to be competing at 1 month before me. So we're gonna see what he does there, and then I have to beat that in June. As well as the fact that, as far as I'm concerned, Johnny Candido got some unfinished business on the platform as well, and we're gonna bring him back when we outdots him here in 9 weeks at Carolina Primetime. So yeah, that's why it's titled Unfinished Business, because it just makes sense, and let's be real, it sounds kind of cool. But I'm excited, man. I'm excited to just see where I'm at right now as far as the baseline. The goal is to go in there, take what I know I can hit. Got a top triple on squats, top single on bench, top single on deadlifts. You already know how the SBD days are set up. So let's get to the gym and let's get it done.
All at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it would not come near you. Punishment of the week. If you say that, baby, they don't know. They won't play if they knew it. I've been doing all the type of music, keep your body moving, he on fire. A lot of fluid, he ain't lying on the truth. Got that spider moving, make them bitches ride the roof. It's a pussy ass stay out. Remember me, I fix on my mama, that's one strong ass black woman. Did it single, always made shine, yes. Y'all can't catch us, don't even try it. Niggas fake. All right. Hey, look, kids, what's the word? With that chain cost? That's absurd. Fucking till to the point of no return.
I'm stressing over niggas, bitch, the money my concern. Hey, my family still amazed at all
squad thing. No green shit. I be on some, I'm a king, get down on your knees. Sneak this. No 24 mode. All in the 100% old school, no flex on some under the 10. Ask anybody here who running this shit, this big bucket bitch.
All right, guys, so you saw my tops of the squat, tops of the 3, 230 kilos, 507 pounds. And it's one of these things where even though a small PR would have been 523, a big PR would have been 529, after my last warm-up, I knew that wouldn't be there, and I also knew that, okay, I had 2 week 3s where squats didn't go well due to the circumstance I talked about a couple videos ago, and I just need to build momentum back up and get used to squatting in the 500s again at this lower body weight. Because like I told you, I've been walking around 167, 168, which is very different than walking around like, 172, 173. Those few pounds make a huge difference for me. So instead of forcing anything, I just took what I knew I could do. I'm happy with the first 2 reps. The third one was too borderline on depth for my liking, but I know I'm just getting that confidence back. I also can tell that even though I'm doing better with sitting the hips back first, I'm overthinking it. It's not as fluid as on my back down sets you guys saw where, okay, the hips sitting back, the knees are tracking, it looks very fluid, and that just comes with building confidence back up, which is exactly why I did 570 pounds. Because, I know I'm not failing this, no matter what, and it'll be good to get the baseline back up. So, all in all, not mad at it. We're going to get through these back downs and see how bench and deadlift go.
But like that one too.
I made sure no one was over there. Over there, like, do it that way.
All right, guys, so bench press went extremely well. 170 kg, 374 pounds, moved way better than what I did a couple blocks ago when I was dealing with the shoulder issue that I told y'all about 2 videos ago. So very happy with it. My hope is to hit 172 to 175 kilos. So that will be 380 to 385 next block. The block after that, hit 177.5 to 180. So matching my all-time best of 391 or a PR of 396. So this was a good baseline to be at. And then my back downs felt really, really good. Now, as far as the shoes, like I said, the Hyper Vs, I love these. As far as grip, absolutely no issue. And because it's a little bit more elevated, I haven't taken my insoles out yet, a lot of people do, but even if you do that, because it's more elevated, I just feel extremely stable. When I'm pushing into the ground, it feels like I'm hovering on the bench. Not to the point where I feel like my glutes are coming or anything like that, but it's just so much tension stability where I can truly keep that leg drive constant without really having to think about it. Just from setting up and using my legs to push myself in the position, it stays constant the entire time. Now, mind you, I still love the L runs, but one, they're flatter, right? And like I said, I've had these since 2018, but look at the grip here on the, hopefully it clears up. Look at the grip here on these. Now it's a little worn out here, just a tad bit, but once again, I've had these since 2018, and most slippers that I know, Notorious Lifts and stuff like that, they don't even last anywhere near that long. So I still love these, but in terms of grip, there's not a real big difference. I've never felt like I was gonna slip in my L runs, but the stability and drive I feel with the Hyper Vs is just more. Now, mind you, even though I have a lot of clients who love the Hyper Vs, I have a few who still prefer these, and they're the ones where they like for the shoe to feel flatter and feel like they can just fully grab the floor. So if that's you, I would still go with the L runs, but if you like more of like just feeling that stability and that strong push into the floor, I think the Hyper Vs work well. But yeah, bench was awesome, really happy with that. We're gonna see how deadlifts go. She thought she caught me slipping. You ain't ever gonna catch me slipping. Hey, why did y'all tell me I was so close to lockout?
I thought you knew, bro.
That.
Your legs were done. Your legs were done, bro.
All right, guys. So I'm incredibly mad at myself because, first of all, my warm-ups were feeling amazing. Like my deadlift felt very on today, which I was expecting, just because I didn't push it at all last block. So I know that when I scale my pull back on the top end for one block, it shows up really well the next block. And my warm-ups were flying, and the positioning and the belt, which I'll get to in a second, felt so good. Where I messed up was on three parts. One is the fact that I've never broken 600 plus that fast off the floor, ever, in training. On meet day, I kind of know and expect it, but even though my warm-ups were moving well, I wasn't expecting 628 to move like that off the floor. So because how fast I was off the floor, by the time I was near like the point where I failed, I was further up than what I realized. Like in my mind, I thought I was still further down here. I didn't realize I was that close. Second thing is, I'm stupid. My max is 639, so that's 628. That's so close, and yet I didn't baby powder up. Like I wasn't thinking, I usually don't baby powder up in training, which is just a bad habit I need to break, but literally got caught right on the quad. And then the worst part is, you guys already know, I've said this before, I let my head crank up. Instead of staying, you know, just keeping my chin tucked and staying the quads and just pushing through, I let my head crank up, which every time my head cranks up, my lower back extends more, and that makes it very hard to just get the hips through. So I have to break that habit. But even with that, truly believe, had I just baby powdered up and realized how close to lockout I was, I could have just fought through. The reason why I didn't, because I was like, okay, there's no point in fighting through this if I'm like only halfway up. I did not realize I was that close, man. And it's this thing where it's like, wow, the speed off the floor was so good. So on one end, I'm very happy because it's like my deadlift was feeling strong. Like to go from only ever really hitting near the 600 mark, like, you know, 4 to 8 weeks out from competition, to where since corrupted strength, I've been able to hit 600 plus consistently at the end of each block. And knowing that that was more technical than anything else, and just a stupid call not baby powdering, like on one end I'm happy about that, but I'm also just mad at myself, man. Like everyone was like, bro, why didn't you just fight through? I was like, because there's no point in fighting through when I have that much more to go. And like, bro, watch the video. And I watched the video and it's like, dog, that was bad. But with that being said, this belt, we're here. First of all, hey, y'all check it out, man. Check it out, Craft, baby. Craft. This belt is the best thing I've ever pulled in. Like, shout out to Austin. I'm gonna have his Instagram up on screen. It's only $150 for a belt, and he doesn't charge extra for like putting anything on that you want. But definitely hit him up. This is the best thing I've pulled in. You guys know that for squats, I'm big on 13mm belts. You know, you want something tight and rigid you can brace into. But for deadlifts, for most people, I think a 10mm belt is better, because you want something that you can brace into, but that's not so thick and rigid that it compromises your position off the floor, especially if you're not built super well for deadlifts. You guys know I usually pull in my A7, which is a 10mm, right? This is also about 10mm. And in terms of thickness, they look pretty much almost identical. The difference is just whatever material leather he uses, it can form so much better. So even though it's a 10mm in terms of like, it feels like I feel like I'm bracing into something, it conforms very similar to like the 6.5mm that I was using going into the Corrupted Strength Classic meet when I was kind of just trying to work on my positioning. It has so much give, it doesn't hit my positioning, that like you guys can see on my warm-ups how flattened out my back was going into my wedge. That's usually not the case when I'm wearing like even my 10mm A7, because it just folds me a little bit, right? But my positioning felt so good in this, and that's why I'm mad, man. That's why I'm mad, because my deadlift felt on today, and I just didn't execute, right? And it's not even a matter of like, it's not even a matter to me of like, oh, I tried to go too heavy. Like you guys know I've been making like these steady like 2.5 kilo jumps each block with the single, just steadily building up. And if I feel really good, I'll push for a PR. But yeah, I messed up as far as that, but it's okay. It is what it is. Please don't let that make y'all think anything about the belt. The belt was fantastic. Like I've never felt so good position-wise off deadlifts. I mess up when it comes to that. But with that being said, I feel very, very confident over the next few blocks. Like now that I can consistently get in this position and I got this belt, I think deadlifts are gonna be nice. Because the fact is, to even be hitting that, like I said, be hitting well over 600 with no peak, no taper, knowing how my deadlift feels on meet day, I'm gonna be good to pull what I need to come meet day. Like I said, I PR'd with 639 like 2 or 3 blocks ago. I feel very confident I'm gonna be able to hit that or more on meet day for sure. And that's really all I need for my goal. So, it's a little frustrating, but it is what it is. I have nothing left to do, but you know, my belt squats, my RDLs, not gonna bother showing you guys that. I hate to end on this note, but that's pretty much it for the video because I really don't have much else to say or take you guys through. But just know I'm excited. I'm excited. Like I'm very happy to be back repping the 500 on the squats, and the squats will get momentum as I go. Bench press is in a very strong point, and I know once we pull and taper things back, it's gonna feel even better over the next couple of blocks. And deadlifts, I'll just give you my whole spiel on deadlifts, so there's no need to go over that again. But that is it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a comment down below, let me know what you did. If not, comment down below, let me know what can be better. Like the video, share, subscribe, keep it simple, specific, scientific. I'll catch you guys later.